Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys how to dial in a 4-jaw chuck. And before I do that though, I want to explain like the basic principles of concentricity. And when you're doing things on the lathe, it's very important to understand what's being referenced and how concentricity is being maintained or lost. And so I want to demonstrate that first. We have a little, not little, but like a piece of just random stock here. And the first thing I want to do is put this in a 3-jaw. And so let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go send this out. The 3-jaw is self-centering, which means that all of the jaws move at the same exact time. Just clamp down like this. And let me get a dial indicator to show you the concentricity. Alright, so now we have a dial indicator set up, as you can see. And now we can just spin this around and so yeah. You can see the amount that it's varying from the 0 is what we call runout. And that runout is about, so it's about, you set your low spot to 0. Yeah, so it's close to 8 thou run out. And this is before we even turned it, before we even touched it. If we take a turning tool, I'm gonna just turn a little bit of this. So we dialed it, or we saw that we have 8 thou runout, which means that when we dial in 8 thou, that runout should disappear. So I'm gonna dial in 10 thou. Take a 10 thou cut.
My cord is too long. Yeah.
Alright. I'll let it go all the way through. Whatever. I'll stop it there. Let's take our dial indicator. Reference here. 0. Spin it around. Oh, oops. So you can see that runout has pretty much disappeared. And yeah, I mean that's essentially that's how you maintain concentricity on a 3-jaw. You have to turn the OD to make it concentric. If you take it out, so I'm gonna take it out. Okay. Take it out, move it around a bit, reclamp. Put in the dial indicator again. Watch what happens. You see, now we're still getting about around the same amount of runout that we saw when we first started, before we even started turning. That's very important, that when you have a part and you're thinking of order of operations, try to do everything in the same operation without having you taking out the part from the lathe, try to have everything done in the same operation. That's like the best way you can like guarantee you're maintaining concentricity. Now, for whatever reason, you need to turn around the part, you need to take out the part. That's fine, just as long as you leave enough on the OD to like again turn it and take it to final. But let's just say you need to flip around the part, but you need to keep the OD the same. How do you and you still need to maintain the concentricity? How do you do that? You dial in a 4-jaw. So let me set up the 4-jaw and then we'll get started. All right, so we're back on the lathe and we have a 4-jaw set up. In this case, I got a 4-jaw with the OD jaws because the part is a little too big. But before I dial it in, let me just tighten these up so you can see how it spins. Okay. Very, very unconcentric. And that's fine. The 4-jaw chuck is not self-centered, so all of the jaws move independently. That means we can dial in the concentricity ourselves. So you can see what that looks like. Not good. The first thing I want to do is set your low point to 0 and sweep it around. So it's about 100 thou. Yeah, pretty much 100 thou of unconcentricity, or 100 thou of run out. So how do you dial in a 4-jaw? You get a chuck key and you go to your high point. Swing it around. So somewhere right there is your high point. You want to get that needle in between your low point and your high point. So let's see. When you tighten this, or when you loosen it, it goes the other way. So that's good. You want to loosen this jaw and you want to tighten this jaw. Reach around. Tighten. And you can see the needle as I tighten it starts moving back around. I'll just do that. We'll leave it at there. Now we'll set this to 0. And check your concentricity now. Not bad. Actually, it's still pretty bad. Yeah. So, what is that? Around 65 at a high point. So loosening it goes the other way. We don't want that. We want to tighten this. We want to loosen this. Tighten this. Want to bring that to around 30-ish. Halfway. Alright, that's probably fine. Now we set this to 0 again. Much better. Alright, so now we're within a few thou. It's 4 thou. Let's see, tightening this. Now we mostly want to tighten now that we're getting close. So tightening this goes the other way, so you're going to tighten the other jaw. Reach around, tighten. Zero. Doesn't really do much, but okay. So I'm going to bring this halfway to 0. Tighten. 0. And we're within half a thou. So yeah, there we go. You can quickly go around, check, making sure we're good on every side. It's good there. It's good there, and it's good there. And we got a perfectly concentric part in the 4-jaw. Now take this out. Alright. So now that we've faced off that eccentric part, come over here. That's running perfectly concentric. You can see it with your eyes. It's much better from before. And that's it. So yeah, this is how to dial in a forge or chuck. Again, it's like very important to, well, I guess it's not important. It depends on what's on your drawing, but most of the time, you know, having like a 10th run out is it's not acceptable. So take the time to either have everything done in the same operation, or put it in the forge or chuck to maintain the concentricity of your part. Having everything done in the 3-jaw is also just good for, you know, axial concentricity as well, making sure you remain parallel. Then you might ask, like, how would you like take the part off the lathe once you're done? The way you do that on a 3-jaw is to dial in a parting tool, and when you dial in a parting tool, you make sure it's running flat, and that's how you know your two faces are going to be parallel and flat to each other. So this is a good way to maintain your concentricity and have your parts be in tolerance. And yeah, I hope you learned something new.